Hello? Glad you made it.
Are we live?
Welcome to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce...
Through the magic of television.
Hello there, dear listeners. Welcome to another edition of Through the Magic of Television, the Magic Rewatch podcast. I'm your host, Alex McAleer, and joining me for this episode is Chris Fleming. We are discussing the 2007 film Magician, starring David Mitchell and Robert Webb. Long-term listeners to the show will know that usually I like to put the film or the special or the magic show that we're discussing in the empty safe so you can give it a rewatch yourself. However, it's pretty hard to pirate this. So you'll just have to do what I did, and indeed what Chris did, which is either go on Amazon Prime or even YouTube and buy it or rent it for just a couple of quid, if you fancy it. I mean, listen to the podcast, but spoilers here. The film's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's over 20 years old. Anyway, enjoy the podcast.
It takes years of training to become the best.
Kills! I think it's actually gone through.
It's not actually gone through. It would have hurt a lot more if it had actually gone through.
I have it on DVD, but I don't have a DVD player anymore. So
Brilliant. How did you find it then? How did you watch it?
I rented it on YouTube.
On YouTube? Okay.
YouTube. It's normally a bit
I
cheaper.
I bought it on Amazon Prime.
Got
for
you.
I think it was like a $5 or something.
Yeah, it was like £2.49 standard definition for me. I don't need it in HD.
I mean, let's face it, it probably wasn't even HD anyway.
No,
It's
that's
not,
true.
Not exactly an
That's
IMAX movie, is it?
Yeah. But also, I'm surprised though, because there are some films that are just on YouTube because no one's looking, no one cares. It's very easy to pirate them because people have just uploaded them on YouTube. So, however, for some reason, this one's not free out there. And I do look, I'm pretty good at finding obscure places to find, specials.
It's weird because it's not on any of the streamers. It's and it's, I wouldn't say it's kind of a movie that's been sort of lost in time, really.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, a movie that still people talk about, but yeah, it's weird how it's kind of hard to find unless you sort of know where to look. But
Yes, I typed in Magicians 2000 and something, and it brought up loads of other films. An obscure French film called The Magician. I was like,
Yeah.
surely this has got Mitchell and Webb in, who are still big now. They're household
Exactly.
names.
they've got a new sketch show that's been announced.
Exactly, on Channel 4. You would feel like I haven't seen the Lad Bible article saying this forgotten gem from Mitchell and Webb is on streamers now. So
Yeah,
maybe it'll
their
come back.
First ever movie.
Yeah. So why did you pick this as the very thing to discuss? Because you made it difficult for us because, it's a whole movie we have to watch to discuss. But
Yeah,
I
so,
hadn't watched this since 2008, probably.
Mm.
So why did you pick this?
So it's funny actually. So Youngie asked me to do this to do this podcast, and I was thinking, what could I watch? Because everything's been talked about on here now.
Yeah, it's time to feel like
Problem,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally everything you could come up with. And I was at a gig about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Robert Webb was there. And I ended up doing a bit of magic for like the group that he was in, and it was weird because I don't know whether it's just him naturally, but he just did not look impressed for like the lead up to it, and you could tell. I don't know whether I was kind of putting it on, like, just like mentally sort of assuming.
Yeah, projecting.
This is what he was thinking. Projecting.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. But I was thinking, oh god, he looks like he wants this to be over and done with. So I did something really quick, and then he actually got really into it and was quite surprised and thanked me and everything. And it was. To be honest, I was going to stay with them a bit longer, but then they were saved by the bell. There was a call to dinner, so.
I've got a funny enough, a similar story.
What with Robert Webb?
No, with Jessica
Oh.
Hines, who's also in this, who plays the assistant to David Mitchell. I had a gig here in Norwich. This is years and years ago. And it's at a fancy hotel that's in town. It's fancy on the inside, doesn't look that fancy on the outside. I was like, oh, it's just a wedding gig. It's just the reception as well. Nice and easy, down the road. Lovely. Wandered in, and one of the maids of honor was Jessica Hines. And then my little waiting area was obviously her little, I need to get away from people area. And I was doing some tricks, and then she saw me and she went, very good. But obviously I was of the age to be like, oh, I know you from Spaced. You're Daisy from Spaced. So I think she was just like, please don't talk to me. I don't need a nerd like you to talk to me. What's it like in Shaun of the Dead? What's Simon Pegg really like? She didn't really want any of that business. I just showed her the invisible deck and was like, thanks very much.
Yeah, it's about knowing when to stop, isn't it? But yeah. Oh, bless her. And
yes.
I mean, to be fair though, like I mean, I'm sure she was the same as well. Like, very, very nice and stuff. But you have to be kind of aware that they're also just normal people, and they're probably sick of hearing it.
When they're really nice though, I think about that thing that Darren wrote about, which is like, he specifically is nice because he doesn't want someone leaving going like, I met that Darren Brown once. What a shit. You know, if you're famous, you just have to be nice. You can't be a horrible person.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. It's funny actually doing, I don't know, do you do cruise ships?
No, not yet. I'm on the books. And I have to keep saying no because I've got a tour coming up. Please buy tickets to the tour if this comes out, please. Apart from Hemel Hempstead, that's selling really well.
Random. What?
I know, right?
You're not from there, are you?
No.
Okay.
Just a cracking marketing team. Good job, Fiona. She's not listening.
Well done, Fiona. Well done. He's just really big in Hemel Hempstead. That'll be your tagline.
Yeah, big in Hemel.
Big in Hemel Hempstead. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh Christ. Yeah. So, cruise ships. When you're when you've done your show and you're just walking around the ship, obviously people recognise you, and sometimes you just want to have your food and be done with it. But you kind of have to be nice because these people, they'll write reviews and stuff. So that's I mean, obviously, I'm not comparing myself to a celebrity, but it is the closest you'd ever feel to being a celebrity, and that
you get a little touch of it, don't you? Yeah. Like me and Youngie have experienced on Champions of Magic. If we're in the resort for a bit, if we're doing casino, it was like you're in the elevator in America, and they go like, "Love the show," and you're like, "Oh shit." No, I can't read your mind right now. That's the trouble for me. So yeah.
Oh god, I have to tell him my life story, how I got into magic, and
exactly.
But I mean, it could be worse problems to have. Let's face it.
That's true. Yeah.
But when I had that interaction with him, I did actually I remember that he had done this movie. I remember watching it when I was younger, and I did think, I wonder what his thoughts are on magicians, especially after doing this, and I wonder if he's got a bit more respect for them, or whether he's just magicians. Here we go.
They're all a bunch of weirdos or something. Yeah, you don't know what he would think. Yeah.
Because he must, if he's probably come across a bunch of magicians over the years at these events and stuff, and I wonder how many of them actually say, "Oh, I love that movie about magicians," Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mention anything, but yeah, I was wondering what his overall experience and thoughts are of magicians after that. But yeah.
Well, I guess. I wonder. Just trying to think. Robert Webb wasn't too heavy. He didn't do much actual magic, did he? Because David Mitchell does a couple of things in this film. Oh wait, Robert Webb did a bagpipe, but that wasn't him, was it? That was clearly just someone else.
What? Actually, I saw that and I was like, "Is that because it's his side of his head? Maybe they could have cheated it a bit." But
yeah,
I did think that. I also thought, oh, if they'd done that in reverse, because it looked like it could have been reversed. But,
oh, yeah, that's true. It was a bit aggressive. It did look a little amateur, didn't it? It didn't look pro. Sorry to whoever that was.
Yeah.
Turns out.
God, yeah.
Sorry.
Penrose. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, sorry.
Sorry, Scott.
Tricks that you will see in the Magician's movie, a lot of classic tricks.
Guillotine illusion, where a blade passes through someone's neck, or not, as the case may be.
We're going with the guillotine, Harry, because I want to win, yeah? I'm not messing about.
A lot of smaller magic as well. As I said, David is doing the multiplying billiard balls, which is a classic trick.
I learned how to make 2 into 3 and then 4, but that very simple, not very spectacular thing, the joke of which is that it looks a bit shit, actually took more practice than all the levitation, guillotining, sub-trunk stuff all put together.
Did you watch this when it came out?
I did, yeah. I think I was like I don't know about you, I was the target audience, I think, because I was a massive Peep Show fan. I was a student, which I think was their main demographic for Peep Show, and I loved magic. At the time, though, I got into magic later on in life, so I was a layman when I watched this. I had an interest in magic, but I didn't really know all of the ins and outs of it. So a lot of I feel like there are quite a few sort of references and stuff in the.
Yeah, there's quite a few little in jokes in there, aren't there?
Yeah. So it was really fun to kind of rewatch it as a magician and see some people in some of the scenes and be like, oh.
Yes, I've tried to make a note when I see people. Also, also in this film though, Peep Show, because also I chatted to some of my American friends, especially magicians. They like British comedy as well in general, I think. So a lot of them have seen Peep Show, and I think this was sold, especially in America, as it's the guys from Peep Show in this film, as it was sold here, and they are basically playing the same characters. I guess Robert Webb's less of a waster than he is in Peep Show, but David Mitchell's just doing what David Mitchell does best, which is being sort of
Oregon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just being sort of verbose and quite upset about things. So yeah, it's just perfect. It's kind of the perfect.
It's just not filmed from point of view. That's
exactly. You can see both of them in the shot at the same time. Also, Peep Show was an Objective Productions show, right? I think it was.
Yeah. So that was all down to Andrew O'Connor, right?
Yeah, that's Objective was O'Connor and the other one that's Darren's manager.
I can't help you.
Andrew O'Connor and the other guy, the other multi-millionaire.
Insert name.
Thank you. I think they listen. I can't remember your name, but you didn't give me a show. So, but this is directed by O'Connor, and the story is written by David Britland, Andy Nyman, Anthony Owen, and then written by Jesse Armstrong and Sam Bain, who wrote Peep Show, among other things. I always find it funny when there's story by and written by, because the story, I guess, you can just get the beats of a story together, the 3 or 4 of them in the room, and then you give it to these brilliant comedy writers and go like, can you make this like a comedy? Can you make this funny? And give it like
some jokes, please.
Yeah, and give it that sort of about halfway through there's sort of a crisis. And then friends become enemies, enemies become friends.
And the third act, that'll be great.
And third act, happy ending. Great. Lovely. 90 minutes.
Happy days. Bish bash bosh movie. Yes.
But it's the fact that these guys means it's like, that's why it's so magic heavy, and the people who are in it and the jokes. It's because they are their life is magic, really.
Yeah, and I think you can really tell that it had actual like it wasn't a production company that just thought, oh, let's do a movie about magicians. It was firstly a director who is clearly a magic fan and a magic and he's kind of used to that world. And yeah, it didn't feel as kind of hollow as some other sort of movies and TV shows that sort of portray magicians. Yes,
100%. A few people have suggested, mostly American magicians, of doing that film Burt Wonderstone. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch it, so I haven't done it for the podcast yet, because it just looks really hollow and very American, and let's mock magic, but not in an intelligent way.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a movie that I haven't seen in probably about the same time as this.
Yeah,
and it's, from what I remember, it's a comedy about magicians, or it's just a comedy that happens to be about magicians, as opposed to a magic comedy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's kind of incidental. They could just be rivals in anything, from what I see from the trailers. Yeah, they could be. It could be the first maker of a car and another maker of a car. It could just be anything like that.
Yeah.
But they get to do gags with like someone's hands doing a back palm and some flash paper. Whereas
and
this,
like really classic layman jokes as well. You know, things like making my wife disappear and all that sort of stuff. I feel like that was what it is. I mean, I'll have to rewatch it. I don't want to completely trash it.
That's true. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll love it for this podcast. Although I did
imagine
someone wants to do Now You See Me because Now You 3 Me is coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
And I got booked for a premiere. I didn't get the gig in the end, but it was one of the premieres of Now You See Me 2, which is disappointing. Of course, it's not called Now You Don't. But I was like, oh, I've never seen it. Then I rented it from the library, because this was a while ago, on DVD, and put it on. 15 minutes in, I was like, I can't watch this. So I just turned it off. I was like, I can't stand this. This is awful. This is everything I hate.
Was this the first one?
This was the first one.
Right.
It's her in the water. I was like, okay, here we go.
See, I watched those movies again as a layman, so I actually enjoyed them.
People love them. It's got 3 movies in the franchise. Like, it's obviously good. I'm obviously wrong here.
No, it's a matter of taste. That's all it is.
It's a matter of taste, yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I think I don't really know what the overall consensus is with those Now You See Me movies with the magic community. I don't know. I've never really talked to people about it. So you were obviously in the scene around then. Was it what were people saying about it? Do you know?
It did come up. It was one of those things, when you're at a gig and back in the day it was like, oh, you're like Darren Brown. The only name that really comes up these days still, if you're doing magic at a gig, is Dynamo. Dynamo's still in the zeitgeist in the public's imagination, which is good for him. They even go like, but that's not his name now. It's and they don't remember the very ordinary name that he has, because Dynamo is a good name. But and then Now You See Me that has come up. It did, especially in America, touring the Champions of Magic so much. It was big in America. That's because people are magic fans. It's less so in the UK. We don't really have magic fans who just don't know anything about magic. We do a little bit, but in America that's a big thing. Being a magic fan.
You get those really enthusiastic people like Robert Webb's girlfriend in this, who is really buys into it.
Actually, I was going to get to that, where we just kind of roughly go through the plot of it. It's like we've all met that, and those types of people have names as well in Edinburgh. But
okay, I'm interested to hear this.
They did back in the day. Not that I've experienced that. I only did.
Oh, God forbid! No.
God forbid! Heaven forfend! But this was actually quite a good, fun rewatch. Like, I haven't seen this in almost 20 years. This is almost 20 years old. This film,
mental, isn't it?
Absolutely mental.
I feel like are we like the same age? How old are you?
I'm 39.
Oh, okay. I'm 37, so we're in the sort of same.
Yeah, it's basically the same break. We were at school at roughly the same time.
Yeah.
But it's also that time when it was Peep Show. Yeah, we're old. But it was like Channel 4 was like, it was Peep Show. It was Darren's TV show makes a little cameo in this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And that was just like Channel 4 was the coolest thing. When was Barry and Stewart on Dirty Tricks and all that? That was around this time. Jonathan Goodwin was doing the Jackass style escapes.
Yeah.
Late night TV was really cool.
Yeah, it was. It was a great time for TV and comedy and magic. But,
True. And the Objective Productions team, they made basically all of that stuff.
I know, God. Andrew made his money there, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He had a hit with Darren. A bunch of other magic stuff. Peep Show, of all things. Fresh Meat, that was really good.
Oh, Fresh Meat. Was that Objective as well?
Yeah, it was.
God.
I know, right?
Fingers in all those pies, Andrew.
So let's sort of try to break this down. It's not quite like a special. I've got little points, the key points.
Yeah.
I guess they'd be
I've made some notes as well.
Yeah, I guess these would be the things that were on the pinboard of when they were plotting the movie. Because, so the characters' names, I'll just probably keep calling them Mitchell and Webb. Because I can't really remember. Harry and Carl. I'm like, Harry's obviously a Houdini reference. Carl, don't know what that's
Carl, yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, they're a successal
Harry
man.
Kane before the years of actual footballer.
Yes, I thought that was like, is that a gag? But I don't think he was around then, or certainly not known. So they're a successful magic double act. But Robert Webb, I'll just call him Mitchell and Webb. Webb is having an affair with David Mitchell's wife, who's the assistant. And we get to see a little scene. It's not graphic, but they're doing it in a sawing in half illusion. And it's just got that real cringe comedy value to it. And then
never look at a sawing in half illusion the same way again.
That's true, because I can't remember that actress's name. She's also in Miranda Hart's thing, but she had a day of filming where she was just essentially nude in a sawing in half illusion with Robert Webb curled up on top of her. So she's got a better story. Yeah. I have to do what?
What's in the box?
Don't open the box, Harry.
Why not?
Just...
What the? Carl! Oh, God. You... Okay, look, so maybe this has happened, but let's just, for the next hour, pretend it hasn't happened. How would you feel about that? Does that sound like a plan?
Madness.
Also, I did make a note of what David Mitchell says, because the curtain closes and they go like, I think it's going really well. And this is a line I'm definitely going to say more, which is...
Maybe so far the whole thing isn't a total fucking fiasco.
Oh, that is vintage David Mitchell as well.
It is.
That is
it's the way he says fucking fiasco is just perfect.
Oh, I'm definitely going to start using that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
maybe the whole thing is a total fucking fiasco.
That was brilliant.
But then he catches them. Oh yeah, carry
on. When he said that, and Robert Webb was like undoing the ropes, I remember vividly. Remember that as a layman, being like, "Oh, we're getting a little kind of peek behind the curtain here. This is how he does it." Thinking that is sort of, even though it isn't really exposure.
Yeah, that's another reason you can tell it's made by magicians. Is there's care to not really expose anything, because then you see the girl in the box with the spikes, but that doesn't really expose how it works. It's just everyone just sort of assumes it's something like that, right? But it's handled with care.
Exposure without the exposure.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, everyone kind of wins because we're not getting the exposure, but the laymen sort of feel like they are getting that insight.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like if you're watching a movie like this, you are kind of hoping for some sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it? You do want to get the little taste of it, at least. Like the film Illusionist, everything's literally supernatural in that. So I was slightly disappointed by that person. I was like, oh, there just really are ghosts, are there? That's not that interesting.
That's the Ed Norton movie.
That is the Ed Norton one, yeah.
That's been a while since I've seen that as well. Actually.
Yeah. Next time on the podcast. But the main
all the movies.
It's true. It's basically a movie club now. The inciting incident though for this is David Mitchell. It's a guillotine illusion and cuts off his wife's head. There's a bit of a question mark of like, was it on purpose because he discovered them? She was having an affair with his double act partner. But that's the inciting incident that then leads to him working in just a supermarket, demoing a knife.
Like Wilkinson or something, like a really low end one. Not even an M&S or something.
Yeah, not anything classy like an M&S.
Bless him.
Yeah, Wilkinson is what it says here. So it must have been a Wilkinson. I must have seen the background as Wilkinson. And he does sort of amazing Jonathan style knife through arm. Yeah. Does it pretty well, I think, too. But it did remind me that didn't Johnny Thompson? I remember hearing Penn Jillette say this. That Johnny Thompson, the great Thompsoni, he said the hardest sleight of hand he ever had to do, because he would do that. He'd demo knives and stuff to make extra cash. And he said the hardest sleight of hand he ever did was to actually make those knives look like they weren't total dog shit. was the quote from him.
Those knife demonstrators, they are talented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I wonder if that was a little in joke, because that's also, it makes me think of, like, Mark Paul has done like QVC things. I know he was selling Marvin's magic stuff, but also just other stuff, I think. But I'd buy from Mark Paul.
I'd buy whatever he's selling, I'm taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another great line from him here when those two people are going to complain that he put a knife through his arm and magically restored, and he goes, "I think they're left feeling wonder."
I got that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally in my notes.
It sounds like such a magician thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Just to go back to the guillotine thing, it's so funny
Yes.
that because every time I've seen a magician since then, seen a magician do that routine or anything kind of similar like a head chopper or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I know the method is foolproof and everything, I've always had that sense of nervousness watching other people do that, and I never knew why. And I watched this, I was like, "Oh my god, it's literally from this movie."
It's just in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also that great one because it looks like a proper illusion, as in like it's probably Penrose's, isn't it? He's in it later.
Yeah.
But it looks like there is that one where the head drops, right? I think it's been on TV. It was on, and that definitely was Penrose's. QI. They cut off Daniel Radcliffe's head, and you see the head go down, and you're like, oh, if you're not expecting that.
Yeah. My god. Yeah, and you see that little bit of blood as well.
Yeah. And also the noise, the sound effects is what really sells in this movie. That whooshing, and you're like, oh no.
And it's so funny because it's like right at the beginning as well. That's the last thing you're expecting as a viewer is something like that. So that was,
that's why it's a good comedy beat because you think he's not gonna. Oh, he did.
Surely, yeah.
But it does feel like, and then it would cut to the Peep Show soundtrack with the intro music. It does feel like that moment. Fuck Jeremy. But Robert Webb's character is being a very Derren Brown when he's got the little fake beard as well. There's even a little balloon sting. You know that iconic music that Mind Control had balloon, balloon, really kind of, I don't know what that instrument would be, but it even has that. Yeah, I just heard it. I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess it was made by the same team, the same writers, literally. Yeah.
Behind Derren, yeah.
Yeah. And he's called the Mind Monger, which, as we were saying before we hit record, I don't think you could say that anymore. Does that mean I'm going to have to explain to some listeners what mong means? It's not a nice word.
Yeah. It's not nice. It's
just not nice. It's unpleasant. There's the reason why the guy from Mischief Theatre called it Mind Mangler, which is very similar.
Yeah.
Gag, right? Yeah.
It is, yeah. Completely. And there was a moment that he, in one of his routines, in Robert Webb's routines, he said something of the mind, and I was expecting the mind.
Maybe he did, and they had to cut it. Like, this other guy's doing that. Who knows? Who else we introduced to? Otto, who's Robert Webb's manager, who we later discover is madly in love with Robert Webb's character. And there's a great line later when he says, "Are you gay?" I'm not gay. It's not the 80s. That's such a funny line to me. Even though he fancies him, I think it's just specifically him. I don't know. It's just such a funny idea.
So that through line was brilliant. I mean, a bit dated, but
yes, it was a bit dated in the sense of like a man liking a man. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, exactly. Just drawing.
But it was just the awkwardness of Robert Webb's character is simply not into it, and the other guy's like, "Yes, you are." That was kind of where the comedy was.
Yeah.
And the inappropriateness of it's his manager.
Yeah, and the first kind of hint you get at it is when they sort of accidentally kiss.
Yes.
And the fact that Robert Webb, he doesn't even acknowledge it. He just kind of carries on talking as if it never happened. And you can just tell he was so uncomfortable. Yeah, really. It was like you're not really laughing at the fact that it's a sort of a gay thing. You're laughing at the awkwardness of it. It's just so ridiculous.
That Otto, the manager, has in his mind been building up. This is leading to this moment. It's very clear that we're in love with each other. No,
do you not
no,
know?
it's not.
You touched my leg accidentally the other week.
Yeah.
You must love me.
You must love me. There's also, so he's got a plan to basically, to young and stranger, just go into a TV channel studio and pitch an idea for a TV show.
Is that what
but
they
I did like? Well, they did. They had that little viral video where they,
it's
Youngie in the squeeze box, and the previous bit to the Sky TV bit is them, poor Strange, having to go into all the offices of like BBC and Channel 4, like, hello, we've decided to have a TV show, and good news, it's you guys.
Brilliant.
But yeah, when Robert Webb does a little Jedi mind trick, very Darren's like, we do have a pass. You will let us go through.
Yeah.
And the receptionist's like, it seemed to work. They got in, didn't they?
Maybe not
And
the
he
way
tries
that
to-
he was hoping it to, but
Yeah, exactly.
they were just like, screw it. Not worth it.
And then the sort of trick that he does where he tries to inject a word into her mind, and she goes, dickhead. And you look out the window, and he has predicted it, but it's dickwad, and it's
Dick
slightly
Wad,
off.
yeah.
And it's,
It's
like,
like an off by one. Not too. You don't want it to be too perfect.
No, it's the too perfect
much
theory.
time
Is what he's
around
going
Darren,
for.
clearly. Yeah.
That would be wonderful if they got that line in. Well, you don't want it to be too perfect. And Davenport's magic shop gets a little cameo as well.
That was a lovely little throwback.
Yeah, especially because Davenport isn't around anymore, is it?
No longer there. Yeah.
No,
It was
such a shame.
Nice. It was really fun to kind of like look at all the shelves, see what tricks there are. I spotted a few Jay Sankey tricks.
Yes. Also, I remember when I went to International Magic, and it was always a really faded Jay Sankey set of DVDs, because they'd just been in the sun for years.
The sun bleached. They'd been there for like decades. Yeah. Well, good times.
Good times. But over in Jersey, there's going to be the Magic Shield, which sounds like it would be a real competition name.
Yeah.
Big prize. And this is where David Mitchell needs a new assistant, which is Jessica Haynes, however you say it. And she does a wonderful dance to the big song at the time, Gay Bar, by Electric Six. Is that what they were called?
Six. That was a massive hit back then, wasn't
Huge
it?
hit, yeah.
Yeah.
But her dance is extraordinary. Hopefully it's just improvised, right? They just said, go.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's
Honestly,
kiss.
It was brilliant. You would at least, it would be hilarious if that was actually choreographed. They'd actually brought in a choreographer.
I think on the floor you start spinning round.
Oh, absolute genius.
Amazing. This is when Darren's on telly. They're both watching Darren. And I do like this little character beat where he's got prepared cards for the conversation over the phone with Robert Webb. And he's like, if you agree, say, yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Like, it's just such a weird robot man.
That, again, that's like David Mitchell's sort of peep show character, isn't it? That's him coming through. It was interesting, actually, seeing David Mitchell, Robert Webb watching Darren and almost sort of taking notes, because it was alluding to the fact, because like in Burt Wonderstone, there's a character, I think it's Jim Carrey's character, who's sort of a parody of Chris Angel.
Yeah,
and you're like aware of the fact that he is basically Chris Angel, but is he sort of a parallel universe Chris Angel, or is he like a rip-off of, like, is Chris Angel existing in this universe?
Yeah.
It was, they were acknowledging the fact that Robert Webb was just ripping off Dan Brown.
Is he sat there with a notepad? I guess he is, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. I think
yeah, that's funny. That's definitely from that team going like, stop doing this stuff that we're putting on telly.
That was just a nod to all of the Darren impersonators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I know you listen, I mean.
Interested.
Good. Then I was thinking for the prelims we could do the cut-down routine, the 10-minuter. If you're on board, please state, see you there, Harry, and we will see each other there.
See you there, Harry.
Likewise. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Likewise.
Then we get introduced to this Tony guy, who is unfortunately kind of familiar in the magic scene.
Yeah.
Because we introduced to him by talking about, he just says I did it 3 times last night, and then just talks about how much jizz there was. Third one, no jizz. And this is a recurring conversation he has with several characters throughout the whole thing. It's just like, I'd forgotten that in the early 2000s, that sort of slightly puerile, just to make
very,
teenagers
like
giggle.
Jay from The In-Betweeners, isn't it?
Yes,
Like...
exactly. Which I think was Jesse Armstrong and Sam Bain again.
Oh, okay.
Maybe can't remember.
Yeah. But he had a lot of classic lines from this guy, wasn't it? Like "suck my wand" and
yes, that seemed to be his pickup line. Doesn't work at any point.
Yeah, I think it was quite. It's funny because I was thinking out of all of the things in this movie, that's probably the most dated kind of thing. But I think even at the time, they were sort of, the humor was coming out of how much of a creep and a dickhead he is, really.
Yeah.
It's not like it was acceptable then. It was still very clearly unacceptable what he was doing.
Yeah.
But it was, it was really, really kind of interesting at how they kind of played that character.
Yeah, it was a way to show, like, do not like this guy. Characters don't like him. You don't like him either because he's like this. Great.
He was kind of like the closest thing to like the antagonist in the movie. He was kind of like the closest bad guy, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can
difficult role for that poor actor. So I've seen him many things. He's a good comedy actor and stuff, but he does play that very well.
there was a I can't remember if it was in Peep Show or something. I remember it was him and David Mitchell. They were like dressed as Nazi soldiers. I think they were like reenacting it, and then it was basically this Tony character was talking to David Mitchell like, we need to take our country back. Like this is sort of all of like that kind of rhetoric, kind of.
I see.
And David Mitchell's like, wait, are we talking about? Is this real? I think literally he says, "Is this? Are we having this?
Is this real? Are we actually Nazis right now?" How prophetic of the show.
Yeah.
Nice little cameo. This is Pat Page, isn't it? Doing some cigarette magic, which is always great. It's great when Pat Page turns up, either just in the credits or in the show. It's a shame he didn't get to speak and be angry and Scottish. Love it when he's in like Paul Zennon's thing and it's just, just taking the piss, really.
It was a nice little surprise, and like it was funny, the whole sort of cigarette act, and at the end where he puts it out in his mouth, and it was funny because I was thinking, wait, does he actually just do that? And then Peter Capaldi's character just goes, he just takes the pain. Absolute maniac, wasn't he?
Sick bastard is what he says.
Bastard, that's it. Yeah,
because it's so great. Because also Peter Capaldi's in this, but he is basically being Malcolm Tucker, a calmer Malcolm Tucker, but it is kind of, he's playing to that type, angry and Scottish.
It's like Andrew O'Connor was like, okay, who can I cast in this role? With every role. And they kind of wrote those characters probably for those actors.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, it does feel like that.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, that's when it works best, really. That's when it works best. I have a note here as well that Tony he's saying the jizz thing again. And then someone walks past him, he sort of checks her out. And I think that's Laura London, just judging by the hair. She's out of focus. I'm just like, but also 100%. That is what happens at magic conventions. If there's a girl, everyone's looking, especially a Tony type guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hello. Oh.
Yeah, and that was perfect. Incidentally, I saw it, and like she does appear a couple of other times.
Yeah.
And the thing that really struck me was like, oh my god, she has not aged. That's like 20 years.
I know.
It's exactly the same.
It's annoying when people are like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The hair. It's the hair. White as a sheet under there. Under that red dye. Sorry, Laura. Also, if you look in the background, you can see actual magicians. I'm pretty sure I saw Pete Wardell recognise him because he's wearing his hat. He's like busks a lot, so he can do cups and balls just by yelling. And gets a crowd. I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
And if you just look in the background, you're like, I think that's so and so. That's not an official extra. That's someone from the Magic Circle who's available that day.
Probably Scott Penrose was like, "Oh, he's available." I swear I saw Ali Bongo.
Oh, quite possibly. But just in the background.
Like he was dressed in his sort of
and like in the
old school attire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. But I swear I spotted Ali Bongo.
There's a character in the movie called Wolfgang who puts out a cigarette on his tongue, and that's played by a guy called Pat Page. He's 74, one of the world's greatest magicians, and Pat sold me my first magic tricks when I was 13.
He came into a magic shop I was working in at the time and bought some tricks, and I've known him ever since. He gives me the odd job occasionally for old time's sake, you know.
Nice work, Wolfgang.
It's the kind of trick that no one would ever dare do today.
There's no method to that, apparently. He just takes the pain. Sick bastard.
Oh yeah, they're going to enter into the competition together, but he wants to do the bullet catch, which obviously Robert Webb doesn't want to do, so it means they enter separately. And then Otto, his manager, has this idea of doing some promotion, or doing something, but doing it Blaine style. And the idea they come up with is that he's buried up to his neck in sand. As if it's a real torment.
And doing and what was it? Doing the Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, the Mr. Potato Head prediction.
He was like, I'm going to do the Mr. Potato Head, and he knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But incidentally, it's actually kind of a good idea for a colour match.
Yeah, it is kind of good. It's kind of fun. Putting a bucket over your head as well. Because also you look at that and go like, I could make that work.
Maybe not up to the head in sand, but
that's
definitely
true.
Definitely the Mr. I think that's going straight in my show. That
it's a good image as well. I remember that from the trailer. It's because it's such a surreal image. His head's
like
sand
a real life Mr. Potato Head. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like a magic trick in itself because it's he somehow how does he get him on his face?
Exactly.
So
yeah. It's more mental magic. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Available soon from TCC Magic. What else? Other beats do we have here? I've always remembered this line. It's when Jessica Hines' character's going around being very impressed by all the magic because she doesn't know any magic. And then there's something displayed, which is a fake dog turd called Dean's Dump. And she was like, is it magic? And the guy selling it goes, it's on the borderline where magic meets novelty. And for some reason, I've always remembered that line. Because if you go to Blackpool or whatever, there are fake dog turds on some stands and things. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No.
Yeah. It was funny, actually, that whole dealer's hall scene. Just like seeing the ridiculousness of it. Did you know, I assume they must have had some, like, dealers there. Was there anyone there you
I guess so. I saw there's Anthony Owens there and he does like a little flicks the card out the deck just as a little cameo. But it looks like they've picked the people that have the interesting stuff. The stuff that we mostly ignore if we're at Blackpool with the kind of a modern
like the dealer stuff,
It's dealer stuff, yeah. Feather flowers and interesting boxes with letters on them and things and weird puppets and things.
The Allied Arts.
The Allied Arts, that's it, yeah. But I think they did a good job of capturing just that madness. And also having Jessica Hines' character walk around going, oh, wow, and being like really impressed by a flower table and stuff.
But I feel like I don't know whether you've brought any sort of lay people, friends to magic conventions, but I feel like that would be how they'd react in those places.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, I guess the closest I brought my son, who's into magic though, he just hadn't seen much. He knows close-up magic, he knows the work of David Williamson and the stuff he's seen me do. But he was just like, what's that? I said, oh yeah, this is the one on the corner that has the weird puppets. You can't have one, it's £190 for some reason. I've got to go over here and buy this small, normal-looking box for 200 though. So.
And a notepad for 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Hooray! what else happens in the plot? We see... Oh, there's this... There's the character that's the clown, and then Peter Capaldi has to do the warning about, like, local bylaws. I mean, I have to tell you that simulated nudity when his trousers drop, it's not really his penis and balls. Something like that. And then you see it in the background as well. It's like, oh, good Lord.
It's so funny because it's almost like you can imagine the backstory of why he had to say that.
Yes.
He's clearly done it at another convention.
Yeah.
And there was a whole hoo-ha. And he had to make that, and he comes out with a Daffy Duck. Is it Daffy Duck? Is that what it's called?
Oh, the Dippy Duck thing.
Dippy Duck. Yeah, brilliant.
Good stuff.
So many, like you can tell that it's magicians who are. It's a lot of jokes here.
Yeah, it comes from truth. This didn't happen, but it feels like someone told you that happened one year at Blackpool. You'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe you.
Would not be surprised at all.
It's also because these people are TV magic people. There's that bit where Robert Webb and his manager are pitching to some TV people, and they want him to be a psychic. But their TV pitches for ideas from the TV people to him are it could be a medium that talks to murderers and their victims and gets them to reconcile, or it could be you talk to famous dead people like Mozart or Sherlock Holmes, and you review TV shows, what's been on TV that week.
Yeah. Oh,
Which is such God. I imagine that is the objective people going like, the stuff we've been pitched. Feels like it could be true.
Yeah, I was thinking, I reckon Andrew O'Connor has been in that meeting before. He must have ended up having TV people being like, yeah, can you do something like with psychics? He talks, yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like, almost like a Philomena Kunk line that talks to real people like Mozart or Sherlock Holmes.
She was very that woman was very
red hair as well.
Yeah, just like the Philomena Kunk of the 2000s.
Yeah. Also, there's the funny line that they have a code word which is Courtney Cox, which is get me out of this, and your manager's just ignoring it.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that as a thing.
Courtney Cox from Friends. The TV show Friends. Courtney Cox. Yeah,
I think she'd love it. Yeah. It's just completely ignoring.
And the
waving
two
a flag.
executives are just watching him have a mental breakdown about Courtney Cox.
I love the little argument they're having when they're having the photo shoot. That was good fun. And then there's this brilliant character. He's a brilliant comedy actor. He's got a great voice. He was in the thick of it. He's in all sorts of stuff. If you listen to Radio 4 comedy, you'll hear his voice all the time. But he's the guy that's the stooge. But he's like, he takes it very seriously. Yeah. He says, I am assistant magician. But we're paying you the stooge rate, right? And he's got this whole, like, in the way he gives the performance of, like, who, me? And the trip. You've got to do a very gentle trip, is what he's talking about.
It's all about the subtlety.
Yeah. Love the idea of just a stooge really being a thesp. It just really pleases me.
It was the fact that he even mentioned about it was like Hamlet or something. It's clearly a proper closet thespian.
Yeah,
really takes it far too seriously.
I love the phrase closet thespian. I don't know, it's really tickled me.
So a lot of people are like, well, what's a stooge do? Just X normal? Well, yeah, normal is very hard. I like to give it some of this. Who, me? See? I ain't too much but a touch, because some stooges, they're like, who, me? I can't believe it. No. I like to keep it real, but then, you see, I give it the trip. Just a tiny little stumble. Nothing OTT, just a very nice little... You catch that? You see, that's my trademark. That is acting. Hamlet is a piece of piss if you can master the trick.
And there's this whole other B plot of Robert Webb's character and the woman who's like the tea lady at the TV studio. She really buys into his powers, his psychic mumbo jumbo, who we mentioned briefly earlier. Because there's a bit where they're in bed together and she wants him to talk to her dead dad. And it's so uncomfortable. And he keeps trying. It's the way he's going. Like he says, "I'm a really good guy." It's like, oh no, this is like Peep Show now.
It's just pure Peep Show, isn't it? Cringe humor. I love it. And we have all met. I think you said this earlier on. We've all met someone like that at gigs who really buy into, even if you try and sort of, rub it off. And they're like, "Oh man, your powers are incredible. Like how you can put those thoughts into people's heads is incredible." It's like, oh well, it's still magic. No, it's the more you push back, the more they.
Yeah, the harder really sort of the wall comes up, and they're just like, or it's that sort of thing if they're kind of being a bit flirty with it, and you're a bit like, "Hey, look, one, not interested for whatever reason," and then two, it's like, but if you're really interested in that magic power. One, I don't have that magic power. Two, you're a bit. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, this is a red flag. Red flag. Yeah.
Red flag. But yes, it comes from life. I feel that thing. There are some nutters out there.
Yeah.
Yes, we've all had emails. Then we get to the main competition. It's the finale. He's practicing the ball toss. Because he has to get it to the stooge. I was like, that's why that's in there. I remember watching this for the first time going like, what? Why is he practicing basketball now? Is that going to be his trick? Then I realised he's going to throw the ball to the stooge to catch it.
Which is actually kind of impressive, not going to lie.
Yes, because also they didn't want to expose like a method, did they? They just went like, well, just something like this. In the world of the movie, that makes sense.
And it's funny because I think Darren, in some of his shows, he said like, when he does the frisbees, and people assume that he's just really good at playing frisbee.
Yes, I've seen that rumor. I think it's on like Wikipedia that he's like entered competitions for frisbees.
Champion
I
frisbee
don't
player.
think he has.
I mean, to be fair though, if he does, then kudos to him. But we all know that it obviously isn't. But I mean, if it helps them sleep at night, I guess.
Exactly.
Let them have
but
it.
I just like the fact they just went for that, a really cartoonish explanation, rather than like there's a secret X already on the board, or I've seen in a film, maybe it was a TV thing, exposed that thing that Copperfield has used, where one of these paper balls has an extra on it, and I'm going to throw it out, but the stooge already has the ball with the X. And I was just like, I've seen it. Maybe it's Jonathan Creek. They exposed loads in that. But
Jonathan Creek.
I know. I've tried to cover it on this with a friend of mine, Jonathan Creek, but it felt like for a long time trying to explain to American listeners what on earth this show is, who Caroline Quentin is, who Alan Davies is.
Oh man, it's so funny because I like I said, I only got into magic in my early mid-20s, and growing up watching Jonathan Creek, I absolutely loved it, and I never really knew why, because I wasn't really into sort of murder mysteries that much and stuff like that. But I realised kind of in hindsight that it is because essentially each episode is a magic trick that you have to kind of figure out.
Yeah.
And I subconsciously must have loved that to have really been into it. So yeah, it's funny how kind of hindsight you see.
You realise why you were into the things you were into, because you're like, I guess that tickles this, and then you get into magic and you're like, this tickles all the box. This tickles the itch, scratches the itch. That's the phrase.
Tickles the itch.
This tickles the itch, which is an unusual sensation. It scratches the itch that you were finding in other things, is what I was going to get to. Yeah. Also, Jonathan Creek was just, back then, it was just like, there were just some solid things on TV, and they were just all good. I mean, we used to have to watch things like Big Break. It was just a show about snooker.
I mean, it is mental when you look back at some of the TV shows that were around, and we just had to, because that was all it was on, right?
It was on, yeah. I'm in on a Friday. I'm going to watch this.
Yeah. Just going to watch a bunch of blokes playing snooker. And they weren't even professional people as well, weren't they? They were just like random people playing snooker. It's like you could literally go down a pub and watch that. But
what was the thing with Bully? And they in one. It's just darts. A quiz show with darts.
What was it called? Bullseye.
Bullseye. Of course it was called Bullseye.
Yeah.
So British. I'd love to show that to some Americans. Maybe I'll show it to my son Jack and be like, this was prime time. And say, wait until you see the prizes. A top-of-the-line microwave. And they lose their shit.
An answering machine.
Size of a small suitcase. A carry-on piece of luggage. Anyway, back to the film. There was another great line from Capaldi when he introduces, which I think is Penrose's character, which he's sort of doing like a manip robot thing.
Yeah, and he does like a dove act, doesn't he?
Yes. But he introduces him as saying he's been the future of magic for nearly 20 years.
That kind of sums things up, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These things are like, oh, he's the hot young thing. It's like, this guy, this 50-year-old man who's doing stuff with iPads. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Good stuff.
That must be an O'Connor line. That had to be an O'Connor line.
No, yeah, it could be Nyman. I can imagine Nyman just coming out with that.
Yeah.
But they're all in the room, so they all got credits. It's fine. There we see there's some more like, oh, well, they weren't there with the other characters, but we get to see the sort of psychic act that he's planning to do. A journey traveling by brain is one of the phrases. As I penetrate the ectoplasm. But this is a good use of Chekhov's trip technique, that the stooge comes up and doing his fake little trip to make himself look real does a really good fall. It's quite like, and he just slams his head and he's out cold. Yeah. Not dead. They very clearly say, oh, he's out cold, rather than
yeah,
this man is dead.
We've
now.
already had one death in this movie. We don't want to bring the death toll up.
Yeah, but I did like the way it has the, because obviously Darren and the team and stuff did the psychic exposure shows, and they were very much in that bubble of like, we know this is nonsense and it's pretty vile, these people do this. They get to have that moment in the story because there's a woman who's like, oh yeah, my dad died, and then I like to talk to him. He tried to talk to me before he died, but I couldn't hear him through the ventilator, which aren't delivered as funny, but it just cracks away at that. Oh, this isn't nice.
Yeah,
and it cracks away at the character. He's like, this is all nonsense. This isn't real.
You're looking at it from his perspective at that point, aren't you?
Yes, you want him to succeed. You're like, oh shit, it's gone wrong. He's gonna look like an idiot. Yeah.
And you're seeing, oh god, I can't answer this person that's asking me these questions because this is awful. Like, to anyone else, to the audience, who doesn't really like, they're just seeing someone kind of giving their experience of. Oh, my dad, I couldn't hear him through the ventilator. That's horrible, but it would be great. These other people are probably thinking, oh, that'd be great if she can get some closure right now.
Yes,
so he's
true. Yeah.
To him, we all know that he's a fraud. So it's like, oh, it's so cringy. That made me think of because obviously the moment he realizes that he's out cold, he's like, I'm screwed right now.
Yeah,
I can't do the rest of the act. Like, what the hell am I going to do, like, right now? So it kind of made me think, like, have you ever had any moments on stage where something, maybe not someone knocked themselves out, but, I mean, something where you realise, oh, God, I've got another 5 minutes of this routine, and I've realised that the thing that I need, like, for example, about 2 or 3 years ago, I tried out doing back when Patata first came out, and I used the Patata board on stage. I'd practiced it. I was really excited about.
It's great in the living room, isn't it?
Yeah, not so much when you actually need it to work. And I didn't get a read, and I'd hyped this routine up, and I was just like, what am I gonna do now? I don't have any idea. She's thinking of a name or whatever it was, and I have not a fucking clue what she's about to say, what she's thinking of. What am I meant to do right now? I ended up just doing Invisible Deck and just saying, all right, everyone give it up for Mandy or whatever.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, that feeling, that I felt for Robert Webb in that moment.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh Christ, like there's no out here.
There's no, yeah, because there's no method other than the guy's a stooge in this.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that on several occasions. In Champions of Magic for a long time, I was using a Dream Vision, which is a chalkboard prediction.
Oh, okay.
But it's not electronic. It's the one that Copperfield used it when he's on his on a first date with a lady, and it's all written on a chalkboard. Really great illusion, lo-fi, but it is fiddly to load the thing that needs to the chalkboard essentially.
Okay.
And the cue for the crew doing it, telling me there's something wrong, was a tap on the shoulder. And then I had no plans after that. I never actually came up with an out. And it had been built up as in, like, during the intermission, guess what's on the board. So it had been built up for an hour.
Yeah.
And then I got the little tap going, good luck. I was like, what does that mean? Oh, no. This was never about the board. I don't know what I said. I sort of blacked out. Sort of blacks out after
Never
that.
about the board.
That was dreadful. But there are times that I've done it when peaked something and then got rid of the billet. So like I'm one ahead. So I'm reading, when I'm checking one thing, I'm actually reading the next thing.
Yeah.
Look at it, tear it up, throw it. And as I'm throwing it, my brain goes, you didn't read that.
You didn't read
I'm just like,
So I'm just gonna one second.
I'm just gonna scrabble around on the floor like a lunatic for a second. And you just try. All you can do in that situation is try. Especially with I'm Mind Reader is the name of my show, so I have to try and guess. There's a clip of Mark Salem on Howard Stern. And Howard Stern is like, I saw you last night at your show. Someone had a dollar bill. You just told them the cereal. Do I have a dollar bill on me? I don't have one, but it was amazing, guys. But then the producer woman was like, I got a dollar bill. But she's in a booth. He can't get to her. He can't do anything. And bless him, he tries. It's just hoping for divine intervention at that moment.
Oh, sorry, I can't get through to the booth. It's the signals.
Yeah, it's just I can come closer. You can't.
No, stay. Wait, you need to stay there. Yeah.
Oh. He's probably got a backup method now. Probably, I would hope.
Yeah. We have to do these. We have to go through these bad experiences to. They make you a better performer, basically, don't they?
Yes, that's true. It's the drive home when you're going like, that's not happening again.
Yeah.
Are you all right? Hello?
Is this part of it? Give me a sign if this is part of it.
So, sir, Jason, please.
He's off, mate. He's concussed.
Jessica Hines' character freaks out. She doesn't want to get in the guillotine. Or guillotine, however you like to say it. But Robert Webb's character goes, I'll do it. I believe you that you did. Because it turns out he'd actually believed the whole time that he did kill his wife. That David Mitchell killed his wife on stage. But I just really like the sort of confession that he has while his head is in the stocks. And he's just painting it. He's just making it worse and worse. And it was actually the deceased wife was, doing it with a lot of people, and he resisted for ages.
Just making it. It's funny. It's that classic thing of when you're interrogating someone, you don't say anything. You just let them talk. That's because Mitchell was just quiet at the end. He didn't say a word, and the more quiet he was, the more he kept saying.
And I like the line that Robert Webb's character is saying, which is like, well, I feel like the gesture of me stepping out on stage and doing this was enough, so we can probably just stop now, right? Because he believes him, but not 100%. Not 100%. But then it turns out it's all fine. Like all magicians, he's at the back of the room. Impossibly.
Yeah. Bit of theatrical and cinematic license probably going on there.
Yes, that's true. It wasn't a clip of him legging it down the corridor. Yeah. The door's locked.
To be fair, he could have at least pretended to be out of breath. I mean,
yeah, just for a bit of verisimilitude. He could have just been a little bit... yeah.
And
quite knackering appearing at the back of the room.
Right at the beginning of the movie, they do a sub trunk.
Yes.
And I was watching it, I was thinking, did they actually... I mean, obviously not him ended up in the in the trunk, but the actual change, I think they might have done it
a bunch of times so he can duck out the way. Yeah. Because also, if you just play with it, I've been sort of consulting, in inverted commas, when people want to do it. And it does look great. If people are kind of fairly fit and active, boom, you're like, wow, yeah, it's actually quite a good illusion. I do love this. There's some prizes given out, and Tony, the awful man, does win a prize for the trick he stole from his son, the silk flowers thing.
Yeah.
But I do like his acceptance speech.
The classic flower, like magic flowers as well. Not even trying to look realistic. Like
they didn't get one of the they didn't get a TV company to make that. That is, you could just buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his acceptance speeches to the judges, I thought you were all just arseholes, but you're not just arseholes. It's just it's such a great... I'd love to say that one day. It's an acceptance speech. The Magic Circle or something.
Magic Circle
I thought you were all
Awards.
just arseholes, but you're not just arseholes.
If the Magician's Podcast ends up getting nominated for the FISM Award next year or whenever it is, Youngie goes up on stage, says that. I would not accept any other acceptance speech other than that.
Everyone would quite happily triple their subscription fees just to Richard Young, just to burn that bridge while he walks across it. It would be incredible. But obviously Harry wins. Harry wins the competition. They're all friends now. He declares his love for Jessica Hines' character. Although not quite. He does say, I only said I love you because I knew that would get you up here. I'm sure in time I could learn to love you.
Classic Richard. Yeah.
Classic. And then they've got a double act now, and they're both the ladies, the love interests, are dancing away to gay bar while there's a sort of levy sword penetration happening, and they're both going, aha, oh.
It's so end of the pier, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's I thought they were better than this. I guess not, actually.
Yeah, you're trying to get throughout the entire movie. You're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but then at the end, you're like, oh, so this is what they are.
Yeah, they are shit. I see. We've learned to love them, but this is
That reminds me, during the the final guillotine routine, where did I wrote a note? Oh yeah, the line, "He'll taunt you with the balls of death," and then he brings out some manipulation balls. So ridiculous. It's really... Go on.
It's Peter Capaldi's one goes, is that taunting? Is this taunting?
And then when she runs off, he goes, what did he say? He only did it once, love.
Also, when Robert Webb's character has exposed Psychic, saying it's all fake and stuff, he runs past him and he goes make sure that guy doesn't make it to the after show dinner. No pork loin for that fucker. I think Capaldi's got some of the best lines in this. I think
so good,
yeah,
so good. And it's funny because you can imagine there must be some magic competition organisers that are kind of like that, that just really take themselves far too seriously.
Yes, because multiple times he's talking about when he introduces himself for the finale, he's just the person who spent an awfully long time organising this whole thing. It's me, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's funny. Throughout this movie, there are times when they'll mention a trick, like the bullet catch, for example. Because obviously watching it, I remember watching this as a layman, and so I remember finding it really funny how they would talk about these tricks so sort of blasé.
Yes,
we do as magicians. We do,
we
do. We're gonna do smash and stab. We're gonna do bullet catch. All these easy things. Even just card. I might finish off, especially if you do a multi-man gig and you're like, oh, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I'll do Omni deck. I'll do this. I'll do that. And oh yeah, I'll do card to mouth. A card is literally appearing in your mouth. And we're so let's do card to mouth. Yeah.
I'm sure I told this.
So funny.
Okay. Yeah, I've told this story before, I think, on the podcast, which was there was a woman who ran a magic night in London, in Soho, at Madame Jojo's. Katia was her name. It was a good gig. And I discovered from her that she thought an invisible deck was an in-gag between magicians. Because she'd ask for your set list just in case of clashes, because she'd obviously learnt at some point that, magicians clash somehow with tricks. And then she thought it was a gag. She just thought it was just like, you go backstage like, I forgot my invisible deck, can I borrow yours? Thanks. She didn't realise it was a trick we all do and all know and always have on us because it's that get out of jail free card.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Brilliant stuff. There's also, did you see there's a post-credits? They started it before Marvel.
Yeah. This Andrew O'Connor is he's a pioneer.
That's true. He's the Kevin Feige of all of these things. Where it's Otto stuck in the sand, leaving a message for Robert Webb's character, and then I guess the punchline is that he's leaving a voice mail message for him. He's not actually talking to him. Saying, "Come and get me out. I'm buried up to my head in sand here.
I hope you get this.
Hope you get this." Tragic. He's the only one that didn't get like a wrap up to his story, so I guess that's why they put that in at the end.
They was like, "Oh crap, we should probably."
Yeah. Let's bury him up to his. Yeah. And we forgot to mention, he's still in love with him. We forgot to mention that when his head is buried there, that David Mitchell's character threatens to piss on him. Yeah. The time for talking has ended. The time for pissing has started. And then, but the irony is, he can't. He doesn't need a wee.
He gets stage fright.
He gets stage fright. Can't do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie, guys. If you haven't watched it, I'm pretty sure you understand it now.
We've said all the funny moments. So.
We've said all the best bits, really. I'm sure this will just be a compilation clip on YouTube. You just watch the funny bits.
You don't need to spend £5 on Amazon Prime. You just just watch this. Just pay £10 to Richard Young. You're sorted.
Yeah, all goes to Richard. He says he'll give me some soon. So normally I like a rating system on this podcast, and the rating system changes depending on what we've discussed, because I want you to rate this film, actually, rather than special. What should the rating system be for this? Is it
10 guillotines out?
Yeah, it could be guillotines. My brain was going to how many times that guy jizzed, which is not appropriate. My father listens to this. Yeah, we could do guillotines. We could do... How many cigarettes did Pat Page put out on his tongue out of 10?
What was his name? It was like Wolfgang or something.
Wolfgang it was. Thank you, Wolfgang, is what he says, yeah.
How many Wolfgangs out of 10 would you give it? I would give... You know what? I think it's a solid movie, and it does hold up. I mean, obviously, the magic isn't... It's not like magic as we would sort of like hope for it to be, because it's movie magic at the end of the day. But for a movie about magic, I think it ranks quite high. I mean, there's a lot of... I've said End of the Pier a couple of times in here, but even just like the soundtrack for a lot of the movie, there's like kind of organ honky-tonk kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The vibe of that sort of old school hacky magician thing.
Yeah, there were no cool magicians in this.
There was no Now You See Me. Yeah.
No, yeah.
But I think that was kind of the charm of it, though, isn't it? It's almost like an homage to that kind of era. I'd give it a solid 8.5. 8.5 Wolfgangs. Yeah.
8.5 Wolfgangs. It's just almost stubs out the cigarette. Yeah. Yeah, 8.5 is fair. I mean, it's held up pretty well for a film from pretty much 20 years ago.
It's great.
There are some bits, as we discussed, you're like, ooh, no, wouldn't do that now. But I think it's pretty solid.
As a comedy movie, I think it's a lot of really funny moments.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And it was nice to see a few Easter eggs of magicians that we know and stuff.
Yeah. Also, I like the way there was no exposure. Always in magic film, there's always something that's properly exposed, and in this, it just wasn't. A stooge, nothing that's actually exposed. People know.
Yeah, even like the when he's doing that table levitation and they're practicing it in his hotel room, and she goes, "Oh, it's a little tight around my ass," And it's like, we all know, every layman knew that it's there's some sort of mechanism.
She's
of
lying
some
on
sort.
something, but
But
how?
it doesn't actually. It kind of alludes to it. So again, you feel like you're getting that sort of that feeling of the peek behind the curtain, but you're not really finding out anything. Which, yeah, it's very clever how he kind of navigated that. I think he did a really good job of that.
Yes. Also, I'm just realising as well, no exposure at all of mentalism. Because
No.
I guess one could say the cash cow of Objective at the time was quite a high-profile mentalist.
Yeah.
So, it's only a stooge, that's it. And radio-controlled things falling over. So I guess...
Yeah.
So there's no mention of writing anything down beforehand or, nothing like that.
No. I mean, even the dickwad thing.
Yes.
I mean, not really a method that Darren would have used. Really, I don't think so.
No.
I think Darren was safe.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Also, it looks like I once went to the Objective offices because they couldn't stop me, but I think that shot out. I think it was in that area. I think from that office window, you could see that bit of the bridge in London. They probably just filmed in their own offices.
Yeah. Save a bit of extra money on location.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure it's all above board.
Thank you, Chris, for being on the podcast, and thank you, dear listener, for listening and subscribing. If you want to get in touch with me with your suggestions of TV shows or specials that we can cover, or if you indeed yourself want to be a guest on this podcast, then you can email me at ttmotvpod@gmail.com. That's ttmotvpod@gmail.com. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm very much in the mood to watch Peep Show. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. Bye.